Hello and welcome to our actual play of Curse of Strahd, as presented by For the Love of Crits. I'm Level 1 Dungeon Master Hunter Ayu. Thank you again for joining us as we follow our lost clerics of Barovia deeper into the mist. Curse of Strahd, created by Wizards of the Coast, is known for its dark themes and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised due to the adult language and themes that we will be using. We ask that you please keep the chat civil, avoid spoilers for the Wizards of the Coast adventure, and as we are going to catch up with one of our cluster of clerics, and please don't forget, for the love of crits, like, comment, and subscribe. I realized that before we jumped in here, we had missed a week, so we had someone lined up, I believe, to do a recollection the last time. Is that correct, or had we not?
I don't think we did because it was like a combat episode, so
not a ton had happened. So
I mean, what happened in combat, but not a lot of time for recollection.
Yeah, combat can be like, hey, like they threw some hands, right, and they came out on top. So
I mean, I threw knives. I don't know about you, but
yeah. So our lost clerics, they were fighting among the needle blights, the twig blights, druids. Some of them had shown some new powers as they were going along. They eventually did overcome their adversaries as they were going through. Onyx had gone down and had a near-death experience, different from the rest of them, as he was confronted by Akkadi and the state of his soul.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Graves had also reached into the powers of his key, but seemed to go deeper down that path than previously, petrifying some of his enemies before the rest of the party were able to eradicate the needle blights and vine blights. Conereth grabbed the staff from the druid and, feeling the evil within, snapped it in two without hesitation, destroying all of the needle and vine blights within hearing distance. That being said, we are going to return to the Wizard of Wines, and for the first time in a few episodes, we are not in initiative. So what do?
Whoa.
I mean, yell at Herbert for destroying one of the few magical items that we've actually come across.
I still have combat music playing.
I didn't break it.
You know, I will stop the combat music for you so that you can have less anxiety. Did it darken the map when I did that?
Nope.
I don't know. I had to re-download. I had to download the tokens for this.
Oh, yes. So, since the last session, Tailspire has now vanilla implemented community content for mods. So, unfortunately, because it's just kind of in the Tailspire system, we'll be unable to credit everything. But everything is available through the Creative Commons license in the Tailspire mod packs. But it is another feature that they are furthering, increasing the amount in the modding community for. And I applaud them for it.
Also,
Okay.
Graves got a new look.
And Graves did get a new look.
Ooh, Graves is...
Oh. That's Graves' old token, though.
Yeah.
I just added the...
I see a new token.
Yeah, I just added...
Token.
I just added his new one as a morph.
Oh, wait. Maybe I don't.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
I see it.
I haven't loaded his thing in, maybe.
That being said, I believe you guys killed this druid right at the end of last session.
Did. And yes,
Oh.
the
We
map
broke
did
the
finally
staff.
darken, by the way.
So,
It's really dark.
so this druid is lying on the stairwell. He's kind of has been beaten. Obviously, typical of most mountain folk, has no metal that you can see upon him. He does have a satchel on his side, just like the other woman had. And it is quiet for the first time, aside from some of the ravens up above calmly crowing in the eaves of this building.
Onyx lets the rage die down and just kind of slumps against the wall over there.
As the exhaustion of the haste takes effect.
Yep. Graves also makes his way to the rest of the party because he was off by himself. Extremely covered in blood. All the white that's on his robes is probably red right now. He kind of just also comes up and is like, okay, good. And then also slumps down.
Is the staff still emanating any evil?
It is not. As you broke it, the wood that it was made of was light, almost like a balsa wood for the weight. I'm not sure if you've ever worked with balsa wood. It was extremely light, almost as light as a feather, but the same color as cast iron. And as you break it, it almost has a liquid pour out from it as if it's like coagulated blood. There is a wisp of red smoke that pours out and does fill the air with an acrid smell, but it dissipates quickly and you feel the evil dissipate with it.
I would probably collect the pieces of it, unless Kanerith's doing that already. But
if you came up and asked, like he's still holding the pieces, he'd just hand them to you if you asked for them.
Do you mind if I examine that? And he'll just sort of take them and see if he can sort of maybe set them aside for a moment, or perhaps, if you allow it, sort of as a ritual, in examining it, do a prayer of healing at the same time to heal people up.
Yes, so you are a cleric of Gond.
Yep.
And now we had leveled up between sessions. They have not gained the current health advantages and haven't regained some of their... Oh, I should have mentioned that. You guys would get your new spell slots that you would have gotten, but you wouldn't have reset your spell slots.
Yep.
Until you do the long rest. But you had now gone... you cross-classed, correct?
Yes, I am multi-classing into Artificer. Or
Artificer. I always forget what it's
Artificer. It's usually what I call to, but
so yeah. I will not harp on you if we pronounce it different ways.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you are a cleric of Gond. You have now cross-classed into Artificer. I feel like you, in the act of examining this, is almost a prayer ritual for you. So I would allow you to do that.
So if we take 10 minutes here, I can heal everybody for 2d8 plus 2.
I kind of do like not even a short rest.
Yeah.
So
not even necessarily a short rest.
Nice. That helps. What is that ability called?
It's just Prayer of Healing. It's a spell.
Oh, got it. Yes, I do know that spell, but it's a ritual cast. That's just a thing all clerics have, right?
All clerics have access to the spell, but you just have to prepare it.
Does anyone else have the spell prepared?
Nope. I don't believe so. So we all heal for 8.
Okay. We had a conversation early on regarding I believe it was a cantrip, the guidance about the upscaling of it. I would say prayer of healing would be one of those ones. I would probably allow 1 extra die per prayer of healing.
It's a spell slot, so it's more efficient for us to just spend them separately.
Oh, is it? Does it cost a spell slot? I thought you were doing it ritually.
I mean, it costs a spell slot, and it costs 10 minutes to cast as well.
Oh, so it doesn't have the ritual?
So Let's see. I don't think it is a ritual, to be honest. No, it's not.
It feels like it should be.
It's
But I
already
can.
kind of a ritual.
It's a strong one, but okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was a ritual. If it had been a ritual, I would have allowed that, but it
Yeah,
wouldn't make.
It's only
Yeah,
got
if you guys do
Yeah.
end up casting it, then yeah, it just does the full effect on it. Like you can do multiple prayers at once.
Yeah.
It
No,
was mostly like if it was a ritual, I bet okay, we can't do all multiple prayers and do 8d8
Yeah.
for 10 minutes for free. So okay, that's fair.
Doing two different prayers at the same time also feels bad because it's like, let me beseech my God louder, and it's like, that just kind of gets a little awkward.
Herbert,
Freaking Gond and Akadi are sitting next to each other, but yeah, I'm helping them.
No, I'll do it. My divine power.
Herbert,
Yes.
could you send your familiar thing around and maybe just double check the property to make sure that we're safe?
Oh, certainly, yes.
That's a good plan.
I will, I'll order him to just do a fly around and see if there's anything hostile still moving around. And just, if there's nothing immediately, just search the perimeter and just kind of do a spiral out until he's pretty confident there's nothing around, and then come back.
I am just going to, do I have him set as a unique token before I
believe so.
delete him? Yes,
not
I do.
sure.
Okay. And
Bartholomew.
let me rename
Ooh.
him to Bartholomew.
He's just Barty.
Be a dear, Bertie.
Yeah. So
Did I
while
spell that
he-
right? No, I did not. I forgot an E at the end.
while
So
he's going around,
okay, yeah, I'm
Right.
just going to kill the token rather than you having to control it, and we'll just theater of the mind
say
that.
he's gone.
Okay, anyway, so while he's patrolling,
Grace be like, while you're looking at Bartholomew, it's only been a short time, but that was a hell of a fight. Did we just accomplish what we were sent here to do from the people that own this place? They just want us to get rid of the druids, right? Was that everything? Just
I mean,
hopefully everything is good.
Unless they have more of these things.
Unless we
just
find
to-
more. Am I correct in remembering that we have now accomplished our task?
so
Well,
your
then-
task was to clear the winery.
Okay, because I believe we've done that.
I mean, we
Then-
should probably do one pass through, but
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. We think we have. Then other people wanted us to check on here and maybe bring them back some wine and such, but we were gonna go to Kresk first, but hopefully, for now, we have finished the immediate task. Because I am in a lot of pain.
I wouldn't mind if you all wanted to sort of stay here a little bit and help them get up and running. I could obviously help them repair some stuff, but we could probably make a day of it potentially.
Yes, it's
Tomorrow.
if we've taken out all the enemies that are here, it's at least a safe place to rest. I know there is at least a little bit of a timeline that we're on, but I think that we have enough time to wait to leave till tomorrow, I think.
Eventually, yes.
I don't remember how long it is before the next festival stuff, whatever, but or how long we still have to like travel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff,
We're supposed to be back for the next festival? I mean, if we're outside of Valaki, are we required to...
No, we
Okay.
just had some. We
Oh,
had
we're-
There's
we had
the Lathander festival at similar
There is
time.
because there was a festival of the Blazing Sun, and then there's the Feast of Saint Andrel,
Yes.
which is right before. So there's the next festival is called Raven's Revelry.
right.
And
And we were
the
thinking about working with what's her face to get rid of Isaac during that festival.
And Father Andrew, right? Or Father Andrel or something?
Father Donovich.
Father
Saint
Donovich.
Andril.
Saint Andril.
Yeah, there's the Feast of Saint Andril.
I was thrown off because
gonna...
my first priest was named Father Andrew. I'm like, what are we doing to him? we're just taking him out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he wanted us to help with the festival.
With the Feast of Saint Andros, the Lathander one, which is like the day before the Ravens Revelry, where we might try to get rid of Isaac.
Gotcha.
But I guess all of those are also like not like we absolutely have to by any means. It's just like we have
Father Lucian is who
plans.
I think you have. Donovich is Barovian, the Barovia priest.
Right.
I'm like, it's not Donovich, but I didn't want to say the wrong name because I'd never remember.
Yeah.
So yes, it was Father
Other
Lucian.
priest.
So
so we have loose plans.
Just so we know, we need to get a shipment of wine for the Blue Water Inn for Erwin Mardikov. The potion lady wants us to get some wine. We are supposed to get some wine for Bluto to kind of get more information about the werewolves in that area. And then there was a barrel of wine for somebody's wife's birthday that Herbert knows. So we have 4 specific things of wine.
A tonic?
People like their wine. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like you were like, will you guys go to the dang Wizard of Wines?
You say that, but that was just rules as written. Like, hey, they talk to this person. What do they want? They want alcohol. They're an alcoholic. They just want it. Just give me the alcohol. And so that's what everyone.
These guys back up and running. Then we'll go to Kresk while they make that wine and get that ready. And then on our way back, we pick up that wine.
Now,
why are we going to Kresk?
We've been intending to go to Kresk for a long time. We were planning to go now, too.
You guys have heard quite a few stories about the leader of Kresk that people call the Abbot, who is a holy leader that may be able to cure some illnesses. I believe the initial reason that you guys had looked at this was because of Donovich's son.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of Madame Eva's prophecies about a sword also sounds like it might be there. Is one of our theories.
Yeah.
So we're kind of doing a little. So during this prayer of healing, I feel like this conversation would be going back and forth. I do want to preface too, D&D is just one of those games that I just do not have the capability of all the like NPCs that you walk by in the street to just have the general murmur of conversation that you would hear. However, you guys probably would not have been in Vallaki for very long before you realized that the lack of wine coming in from the Wizard of Wines was of chief concern to the residents of Vallaki. That it almost felt like a canary that something was wrong. So even if those people hadn't specifically mentioned it, you guys would have heard the Wizard of Wines mentioned quite often as you were traveling through the city.
Yeah.
Not as much in the village of Barovia, though. That being said, just a quick recap because he had mentioned the one reading about the sword. Is that the one that you had mentioned?
Yeah, one of our theories is like behind amber doors or something like that, and we're like, maybe it's Kresk. I don't know why we think that necessarily, but I know that we put that out there.
So it was the bishop. And I'm guessing that's what your theory
probably
came
why.
Is because it was the card was the bishop, and it said this card of power. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. What you seek lies in a pile of treasure beyond a set of amber doors. So, that is where you guys had gone through, and you have already seen one of her predictions come true, The
torturer.
first one, the torturer.
town,
This
yeah.
card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. There is a town where all is not well. There you will find a house of corruption and within a dark room full of still ghosts. So you know that Madame Eva, while convoluted and kind of not puzzling, but speaking in riddles, is telling the truth. So the fact that there is a weapon out there of some kind, you have no reason to doubt.
and it sounds like something that'd be very useful for us to have.
Mm-hmm.
It's also probably a magic item.
It most certainly sounds like
Yeah,
it.
a sword made out of sunlight.
Sunlight. It's a
Unless it's a
lightsaber.
flash. Unless it's just a flashlight, like from like 2018.
It's
or
a
something.
laser gun.
I'm sorry, we call them torches.
Torches.
It's a laser gun, guys. We got the good old Vorpal laser blaster pit and weem here.
It's a cruiser, and I just sci-fi cruiser right in there. Pillar of
Yeah.
Autumn. There we go.
So, basically all that to be said, I'm not sure. Like, is the implication that these predictions will occur in sequence or not? Because thus far we've only got one data point. You know, the first one has happened.
One of them, we also were like, this seems like the werewolf over the lake as an ally.
Yeah, the beast.
But then we ran tumble and bad with the werewolves, so we're like, maybe we're gonna not do this one.
Yeah.
Well,
we
I think
we
it
have
wasn't
some
that we weren't
PTSD.
going to do it. We needed the silver weapons.
Yes.
Yeah, which
yeah,
we have the
needed to get
material now.
ourselves better situated for.
Did
Which we do have some
did
silver weapons more because you silvered my dagger.
Did I silver your dagger? Or was it
My
I
warhammer
silvered
is
your
silvered.
Warhammer? Okay. I knew those were the two big ones we were doing, was the warhammer and the dagger. I didn't remember
Yeah,
which one had been
just-
silvered yet.
I just need to make sure that I do your dagger before we get there. I think
Yeah.
because I had used it. When did I do it? I did it before we left the town for your hammer, and then after we left the town, I could have done it like the next day, basically on the dagger too, because I could just use
Yeah,
my
'cause you can do
feature to do it.
And we have
in
the
an hour.
materials for it.
Yeah,
So.
that doesn't really cost anything.
Yeah, just costs us the materials which we have.
So would we have done that on the road? Wait, we didn't rest on the road, did we?
We rested with the people that sent us in
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
Would we have we probably would have done the dagger ritual that evening then while we were resting.
Yeah, probably then, or we could do it today
So
if we're
it
like,
takes
oh,
more.
we forgot about it, so we didn't do it. We're not gonna.
Yeah.
Then, okay, we do it today while we're chilling and helping these guys.
Yeah, and I would be okay with either of those. You guys had run into the revenant of Victor's soul. So you guys would have been like, yeah, we might want to have stronger weapons if you had the capability at the first chance that you had a safe camp site.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to make sure that I now
You
mark
guys-
in my thing that one of my daggers is silvered.
Because you guys had breakfast with Fiona, Fiona Vactor, at Valaki. She was the one that gave you some of the items for silvering, as did
Yes.
the
The Baron, right?
Baron. Yes.
We got like a
some
silver
trays.
tray.
Yep.
Yes. So, that is where you'd gotten stuff. But when you guys left Fiona's, you guys had split up temporarily. Some of you went over to the Vistani camp to deliver Pidlick, where you had discovered that the Vistani's leader's daughter was missing. And then you guys kind of left right after that. So you didn't really have much time to silver it in town, so I feel like you probably would have done it at first opportunity.
Yeah. Well, the reason I stayed behind was because I was silvering the hammer. because it only took an hour.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and then you could
but I
do
can
the
do that
silvering of my dagger either last night or this morning, etc.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So now in my inventory, I have 3 daggers and 1 silver dagger instead of just 4 daggers.
Nice.
Okay, so at this point, 10 minutes are probably up.
Yeah.
What was...
Bartholomew, how far did he get in 10 minutes?
Bartholomew would have been able to search around the entirety of the area very easily. He doesn't see anything outside the things. He obviously sees the Martikovs off in the distance. He doesn't see any vine blights or twig blights. He does see the remains of quite a few of them out in the front of the winery itself. However, I do want to preface that probably wouldn't give you it would give you some reassurance, but wouldn't completely reassure you, as he had searched beforehand and hadn't seen the twig blights previously, the twig and needle blights. They seem to blend in exceptionally well with the vineyards.
So, if we want to be sure, we could do a walk through the vineyards and then go to see the Bartikovs.
Let's do that. We must always see a job to completion, of course.
Yes.
I'm going to check the
While-
rest of the building.
Yes, let's also check the rest of the building.
So which are you guys doing first? Are you checking the rest of the building or going
Well,
outside?
We're already here, so we might.
Yeah,
as
we're
well.
already in the building, so. And I would say stick together because that was
Yeah.
rough. And I would also
That was
rather make
almost our downfall.
I would rather run into another small group of them and have to fight them again rather than tell the Martikovs that it's all good and then leave and then come back and they're all dead because we didn't actually clear them out.
Oh, sweet liberty.
So yes,
Oh,
let's
There's
check the rest of the place.
downstairs over here.
I will double check this area up here. I don't know where I went. Where am I? Am I on?
You're on the
roof?
door or wall or something.
All right. Can we
Okay.
just say we explore the whole building?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's a good idea.
navigating this building as these tokens is difficult.
Yes. Sorry, I need to let my dog out. So can we take a quick bio break for my dog's sake?
Sure thing.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
I
it-
get.
All
You're,
right,
s-
I don't
you're
get
second
second level
level.
until third.
Yeah.
we're back.
Okay,
But I
thank
picked
you
up a good
so
one.
much. I had a dog that was very much not happy about not being able to go outside. So, Herbert, you had asked if we could just say, like, okay, we searched everything. I
mean,
will allow that for the areas you guys have already looked in. There is areas that you have not explored yet.
I'm in the basement,
Okay.
There's a
Are we
basement.
going? Are we going? We're going to the basement.
and I'm in it.
We're going to the basement, guys.
Pause. Okay. So, Canary, would you have waited for the other people before going in the basement?
Yeah, I was following right after him, so I don't.
Yeah.
Even if he hadn't waited, I would have caught up with him.
Graves
I just
checked
couldn't
around
maneuver my
that door,
token as quickly
and then I
because I had
think
to
he
wait
went.
to open
You're
and close
fine.
the door.
You're fine.
I'm stuck on this door.
Okay. As you start walking down the stairs, Canarith, you feel the temperature just drop significantly as you're stepping down. Down here you see wooden pillars and beams support the 10-foot high ceiling of this ice-cold cellar, which is split into 2 by 5 foot thick. It was split by a 5-foot thick brick wall. A thin mist covers the floor. Each half of the cellar features an 8-foot tall wooden partition that doubles as a wine rack. The western rack stands empty, but the eastern one is half filled with bottles. As you step here, something moves behind the eastern wine rack. Through the holes, you glimpse a half a dozen humanoid figures, one with a full rack of antlers. You hear a gravelly voice mutter the words of a spell. Roll initiative.
Oh,
Great.
for the
Let's
first
go.
time. Okay.
Right back into it.
I'm assuming
did I
all of
roll?
us, and I was probably up here.
Hey, that
So-
20.
Oh, not one.
This is my
Oh,
bonus. I think it's +2. Initiative +2. So that's a 22
9.
for me.
Okay.
Ugh.
Let's see. 1, 2.
Yeah, good thing we decided to check everywhere.
Yep.
You don't want the townsfolk to find whatever we're running into?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we might die first, but
Okay, who had highest?
22.
Okay, Graves at the top of the mark. Okay, who was next? I can't see
Only
the
got
chat.
5. So
Okay, so that would be me at 9.
Okay, Herbert, what'd you
I
get?
got a 1.
Gosh.
A 1.
Okay, and then... Okay. 19 for
that's
8.
too many dice. Too many.
The amount of dice rolled there is too damn high. Okay. Took a screenshot of that so I can put these in initiative order really quick. Boom. Okay. And he does get a surprise round because he had muttered the spell beforehand. There we go, and last one.
Isn't he behind shelves?
He is, but he's attacking through the shelves with the spell as he cast Thunderwave.
Ah, great.
Thank
Oh.
God.
Well, that centered on him, or starts on him.
So
Radiates
he
outward.
Yeah, so he's able. So I believe it's Thunderwave. If I'm thinking of Thunderwave's the one that there's always argumentation about how it's measured. Correct?
I guess, yeah. It's
Still only
it's a
15
cube.
feet, right?
So like a 15-foot cube in front of yourself that you can affect.
Yeah, so like basically like 3 by 3 squares in front of yourself.
Yeah, because the
Like a
way
huge
it's
creature.
worded, it's like, okay, is it in front of you? Is it centered on yourself? Are
It's
you on the
gotta-
edge of the square? Are you on the
It's got to
other
emanate
one?
from you somewhere is how I always view it.
So, yes. So for it, let's see.
I was gonna say it
It
Doesn't
doesn't
have to be
hit
closer.
unless he steps
but
up.
Yeah, he had to
He
5
just
foot
has
steps.
to get
So
closer.
so the point of it was, and I didn't actually measure it beforehand because I had him hidden. Was he's actually pushing the shelves at you guys
Oh,
because it's all glass
Oh.
bottles.
it's like flinging the
Okay.
debris at us. Gotcha.
Oh, he learned
Fun.
from me up
Good.
on the second floor.
Yeah,
Got
I
it.
was about to say, didn't that happen upstairs?
You did hear it.
So, because for this, it
There's a
almost
pillar in
like
the way.
the
Yeah.
cone would almost be more of a
Yeah, the cone's
thing.
better.
Yeah.
So the cone kind of gives more of an indication. Now you guys are, it's more so. It would have been kind of like he was surprised as well. So let me roll really quick. So you guys would basically be under half cover, I'd say, with that pillar there.
Yeah.
Let me take a look here. What are the half cover rules again?
Half cover
Is
adds
plus
plus 2 to
two.
your AC.
Plus 2 your AC.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I don't think it affects any saving throws unless, I mean, if it was, I would say like advantage on the saving throw maybe, just because it's to avoid debris and we have cover, and it kind of makes sense.
I'd let you add 2 to your saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you guys could all roll me dexterity saving throws.
Absolutely.
Where I'm still
Don't-
up on the stairs. Would I have to?
I would allow you to add 4 because you're high. Oh wait, you're way up there. Yeah, you would
Yeah.
not have to.
7.
Okay.
I got a nat 20.
Okay. Yeah, you succeed.
Graves might go back down.
Oh, come on. That's a 20. I got 2.
Okay. Succeed half damage. Failure full damage. Okay,
I'm not
so
down.
six piercing. Damage full to those that failed. Half to those that succeeded. So you would take 3 piercing damage there. Herbert. There we go. That being said, he was the only one that got a surprise round on there. It is back around in the turn order, and Graves, it is your turn
It's like-
to retaliate.
Like smash of balls. He's like, oh, shit. Good thing we decided to check. And I will move on over to here. As I'm moving, I will use my bonus action to healing word myself at second level because I have some second level slots again. Move 1, so healing word at second level gives me at higher levels an extra d4, so I get 2d4 plus 3.
You got the 8 healing earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Whoop.
And
So
which
I
one were you
heal
attacking?
8.
Oh wait, you were
That was
healing.
me healing myself.
Got it.
Why can't I? All right, actually, because multiple level spells, I'm actually going to like not move over to there quite. I'm gonna move over to like here. Can I like see through the shelves?
They're probably
The
destroyed.
shells are actually destroyed.
Oh, I'll like push it
so-
over now. Yeah. I'll kind of like move over, like kind of like behind this pillar kind of deal. Heal myself for that 8. Let me slap that in quick. And then I shall use a cantrip because I can do that as I throw a... No, I can't throw it and do that. I guess I'm going to use a regular attack to fling one of my daggers at him.
Okay, at the druid.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, because that cantrip is unfortunately melee reach, so I'm not going to do that. But I will attack. 11 plus 5 is a 16 to hit.
If it meets, it beats.
Nice.
So,
All right, so it's going to be a D4 plus 2, and I'm assuming I'm not going to have any sneak attack on him.
You would not, because you don't have any allies near him.
Yeah, and I don't.
And
have
he was
advantage,
not
so he
surprised
knows
or
where I am.
anything.
Exactly, and I already used my bonus to heal myself, so I couldn't hide. But still, that healed myself a little bit because I was looking very bad. Took cover behind the pillar and whipped dagger. That's my movement, my bonus, my action. So that's it.
Okay. There we go.
I was going to use a different spell first, but then I was like, I need to heal myself before anything.
I didn't know you were quite that low. I would have
Yeah,
done
before
another...
you healed me, I was at 3 hit points at the end of the last fight. So yeah, Graves is hurting.
Okay. So this one, he's going to kind of take the you threw the dagger, correct?
Yes, through a dagger.
He takes the dagger, kind of like sticks into his shoulder. It hurts a little bit. It was 3 damage, correct?
5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, so yeah, he definitely notices it, but he's going to kind of like grunt and pull it out and throw it on the ground. And he's going to speak in this unfamiliar language again as he runs forward. And he's just like, Grugrath, Zurag, Marak. And he again mutters that spell that you heard previously. And he casts Thunder Wave once more. And this time, I think he would get in range of all of you.
And it is a dex save, correct?
I am double checking, but I'm guessing Alex will get it faster than me.
I actually am not sure. I think it might be a con save.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dex save was for all the bottles and everything.
Hey, I rolled higher this time, though.
19
for Graves.
Okay.
It's going to be a 3 for me.
Okay. And last one would be Conereth.
Big 7.
Okay, so
Get all these good rolls out of the way.
Graves succeeds. The other 2 do not.
No.
So it's on a failed save. Take 2d8 thunder damage and push 10 feet away. Unsuccessful, you take half damage and aren't pushed.
Nice.
I can't move myself off my turn.
Oh,
but
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just lost half of the healing I just got.
Could be worse.
Yep. Could be worse. Could be very worse.
Okay. Shoves both of you back. As you're going along. Go. And that is the end of his turn. The Bite, it's going to running forward alongside the master. It's going to reach out, its arm almost extending and growing as it reaches towards you, Graves. And it's going to make an attempt. And these are not swarms of needle blights. These are individual needle blights. Just to let you guys know, because you guys have been fighting swarms for a little bit.
Yes.
That is a 16 to hit.
Shield.
Oh,
I have that now. Graves is just like, is it about to hit? And he's like, nope. And just this barrier of just like this silver energy, just like.
Is that reaction?
Yes.
reaction, yeah.
Nice.
Adds 5 to my AC, upping it to 20.
Ooh, that's cool. How long does that last for? Is it the full round,
I
or is it?
think it's just against that attack.
No,
Okay.
it's until the start of your next turn.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's even better.
that's strong. So
Good. Great spell.
okay.
So there's just now this silver barrier of light that it just like.
All right, this one runs forward. It's seeing you, and it can't really see the rest of the party, so they're all going to still keep trying to attack you, Graves, because
Yeah.
you're right there in the front
Hey,
of
I got
everything.
20 AC now for this turn. That's good.
So, this one's going to kind of reach its hands out. You hear like the little like blow dart sounds as it shoots needles at you. That one's a 17 to hit.
That didn't hit with my shield.
Okay, it just kind of. How do you want your shield aesthetically to look? Is it like almost like a force field?
Yeah, kind of
Like-
like this, like almost just like. Almost like this, like misty silver barrier, kind of like surrounding him. They kind of like you don't necessarily see it, but like as it like deflects something, it's almost like this solid like mist of like this. It's just like silver.
Would it be a bubble around you, or would it actually kind of like match your skin?
I'd say kind of bubble like.
Okay, so as things
But,
get like about like a
not
foot away from
exact
you,
bubble. Those little almost like flowy bubble.
got it. So as things get about a foot away from you, it just kind of like stops and then it just falls to the ground straight.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That being said, Onyx, it is your turn. You heard 2 thunder waves in quick succession. It says within 300 feet away, but you being within the
30 feet.
within the stairwell, it is heavily amplified.
All the
As you're
glass
going
shattering and such too.
So yes, you are probably wondering what the heck is going on. It is your turn.
Okay. So, I am going to. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to move over here, and I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon behind him.
Ooh. So, question, and this will be: what does your spiritual weapon manifest as? Is it a warhammer?
It was a Warhammer, but after the Akadi intervention, I am going to say that it actually just it looks like a sword, but like with angelic wings as the hilt.
Okay. So awesome. So we do have access to a bit more options now. And so I was going to present that because there are better spiritual weapon options now. Let me there is one that I think will work well for you. Go. And if you're okay with it, we'll make it your new one.
Yeah, that works.
So, okay,
Perfect.
cool. And what I'll do is rename spiritual weapon Onyx. Go. And making that unique so I can pull that for the future. And then, boom. Let me give you permission of it.
It lands there. And I am going to attack the druid with it.
Okay.
So, I cast spiritual weapon. Wait, it marks off my spell slot, and that is a 24 to hit.
Go a 24 to hit. The 24 hits.
It does 7 points of force damage.
7 points?
Yes.
Okay, so it attacks. You slash across the back. He screams out in pain. That one definitely felt like it kind of pushed him a bit over the edge. It is. Is that the end of your turn, or
No,
do you...
that is just a bonus action.
Yes. 'Cause spiritual weapon OP.
Yes.
There we go.
So as my action, I will cast a cantrip and cast Toll the Dead on him.
Okay. That's a save. What kind of
Wisdom
save is it?
Wisdom.
8. He rolled a 10.
So
think
that
that's
is
a
a
fail.
fail because he needed a 14. So he
Okay.
takes 2d12.
D12? 2. Oh, you leveled up. Jeez.
Ooh, yeah.
Is it 5th level that gets up to a 2d12?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, you guys reach that 5th level mark.
See.
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
covered, but still 7 more points of necrotic damage.
Okay, he is not looking good at all. You kind of attack him. His animal skins have begun to rot away, and they are actually falling off of him at this point. Is that the end of your turn?
That will be the end of my turn, yes.
Okay. This one's going to run forward. It's going to see Konerith. It's going to shoot some needles as it gets around this corner at Konerith. Does a 9 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That is the end of its turn. We're
It's
moving
insulting
on.
that you would ask.
What am I, a slime?
Okay, this one is going to fire at Graves.
Can it?
Ow.
Through the pillar?
It was moving like two. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I moved it so far over. It was kind of. Oh, it keeps moving. I'm kind of moving in this corner right here.
Okay.
It just keeps popping up out of existence.
It's going on top of the shelves.
Yeah.
Ah, that's why. Okay.
Yeah. So the shelves
So-
aren't there anymore, so.
But
It looks like a 17 again, I think, total.
yeah, 17. So it's
Yeah.
not hitting.
Not with my shield. If I didn't have shield,
So-
those would have hit me. All 3 of those would have hit me.
Konerith, it is your turn.
That's big.
Oh,
That's a
why are
big
you making
bubble.
such a big bubble? What is the big bubble?
Twilight Sanctuary.
Oh, okay.
That's the d6 of health, right?
A d6 of temp.
D6 plus
HP.
3.
That's 3.
FHP.
Yeah.
Love it.
HP. 30-foot radius.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, we're good.
I
Until we
feel
go on
calm.
to the next hallway. Or further down this hallway, I should say.
Well, it stays on me, so
Oh,
Just
even
follows
better.
you. Nice.
1 minute, so 10 rounds. So when you end your turn in the sphere, you gain 1d6 plus 3 hit points.
Okay.
Oh,
So, is that an action to do Twilight Sanctuary?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And
Perfect.
I feel like that's excessive. I'm just.
Looking at your abilities.
Well, there was one thing I was planning on doing, but it seems like we're doing pretty good against that druid guy. And I don't think the
He
needle
is
blights
definitely
are
bloodied.
as bad. So I think I'll probably move. Can I move through this space, or would I be moving through the needle blight?
Um,
I don't know how big.
roll
this
me a
space
strength.
is.
Roll me a strength check as you go by, because you're kind of shoving past him. I'd say you kind of bump into him as you're going along.
Strength's not bad, as long as I don't get a
Ooh.
bad roll. Hey, 18.
Okay, yeah. So with an 18, it's kind of sitting there, and you just kind of like bump past it, so you would be able to go through it, and it kind of is startled a bit. These things are not intelligent. Um, they mostly are big on numbers. Now, I'd say if you go any further, it'd probably get an attack of opportunity on you.
Yep, that's where I was planning on staying.
I think.
You might want to move this sphere to where I am.
Oh yeah.
I think Onyx and Herbert should still be in it. Yep. Good.
I love that you can move the markers now. It helps so much.
Hmm.
And I can name them.
Oh, nice.
And I'll just end my turn there. I'm just gonna basically draw aggro.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm
And
gonna
draw
roll my
aggro, you
temporary health. So I'm gonna get 4 temp health. The worst, but still.
Is it at the
Temp health.
end or beginning of your turn?
At the end of your turn.
End. Okay.
Okay. So, one of the Needle Blights runs forward. He's going to kind of bring his full arm down upon you. Conerth. Does a 13 hit your armor class?
Nope.
Okay, so you just do you have a shield?
Yes, and
Alright,
I'm wielding it currently.
Yeah, so you just kind of bring your shield up almost lazily and just deflect him. Is the end of his turn. Herbert, you have just been shoved about 10 feet back. Your ears are ringing as you almost still hear the thunder waves pluralized echoing in your eardrums. What do you do?
Am I prone or still standing?
It doesn't say that you're thrown prone.
Okay, so yeah, I would be still
I would say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of like are like shoved back, almost like stumbling backwards, I would feel like.
Okay. Well, I will move forward here. Taking the scene and Oh, interesting.
Oh, you haven't seen everything moving around because you were around that corner.
Yeah. I see some people lined up, which is kind of nice. And I'll go, I've been theorizing about this. And I'm going to sort of rev up my gauntlets and sort of charge them up a bit. And you'll see like my hand glow, and then a spectral image of my hand will like touch a piece of debris right around where the druid is standing towards the wall. And then I'm going to look like I'm sort of cranking something invisible, and then the object is going to fly towards the druid, and I'm casting catapult on the object. So just like a little random piece of metal, whatever, fell off the shelf when it was destroyed.
Okay, yeah, like a bracket on the end. Yeah,
And they'll say,
that makes sense.
return to sender.
I never see people use catapult. I love that spell.
So he's going to make a dex save, and I'm firing it down the line, so just in case he does succeed, the other two behind him would also have to make that dex save to
Well,
avoid it.
Graves? Oh, no, because you kind of threw it from
From
to
the
line
wall.
up.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, the angle of
Where's
catapult
Graves?
is
Where's
useful.
Graves right now? I can't
He's right
see
in
his
front of
token.
you.
I cannot see his token. I do not know why.
You can't see him
It's right
here?
there. Yeah, so it's a 5-foot line, so it would just go straight through the three enemies, and because Conerth can't be standing where his token is, he'd be like a couple of feet back.
Okay. So we'll have to fix that. Can everyone else see Graves?
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably should like restart Tailspire, but it would just
No, you're fine.
go straight like that.
Okay, cool. That's good. Okay, so we're going to magic bullet this. Okay. And it is a dex saving throw. So I'm going to make the dex saving throw for the druid first.
Oh no, and that one.
That one.
Nice.
So this is the third level. So this is actually wait, no, this is this is just at second level because I do
That's
have
the
one more spot left.
second time I've done that in as many weeks.
4d8 of bludgeoning damage.
I did that to one of my players last week.
Okay. Hey, Herbert, how do you want to do this?
I'm like charging up this object with potential kinetic energy magically through the weave, and
Okay.
I'm just gonna add normally this is a first level spell. I'll just add a little extra because I don't have any first level slots left, and I'm like, it just flies at him and just like makes a hole through his torso, and I'm just like, oh.
You're just like, let's add a little kick to it.
That was a little bit more than I was expecting.
Oh
Probably,
man.
like he
Yeah.
maybe
So-
like
Made us
falls
all laugh.
over in his midsection.
You did
for, like,
22 damage, right?
22, yeah.
He had 8 health left.
I mean,
You overkill him.
Do the twig blights go down too?
technology. It's complicated.
So so you kind of like take this piece of metal, it just almost spins in place and then just like, and it just makes like a whistling sound, and it just like does not hesitate as it passes through him. As he dies, even the ones not in the path, like this one here, they actually kind of start withering away and fall over. But the two that are in the path, it does not pause as it just passes through them. They were already on their way down, and that is the end of combat.
Nice.
That means we probably now all have enough time to get to roll like
A couple.
10 times to get the max temp HP.
Yeah, get your temp health still. I just picture Herbert like pulling out a notebook and being like, "Okay, I overcompensated for the drag and the weight," and just like
scribbling notes, just like, okay, next time.
Must try at level 4.
First try.
But-
perhaps
so-
it was because I threw something that was metal as opposed to wood. Like,
How
I'm
much-
I'm
How much
okay
is
with
the
you
damage?
guys just taking the max hit points. You guys don't have to roll it because
What's the?
you would eventually succeed.
It's the D6 plus how much static? So how much?
Three.
plus 3. So
Nice.
So
So
nine.
9 temp HP. That doubles my current health.
Yeah, I did that on Friday or on Saturday, where I'm like,
With
oh
the hit
no, a nat 1, as the player was rolling, and she's like, what?
You summoned it into existence.
I gotta keep trying that.
Okay, so you guys are now in this basement. The floor is sticky with wine that has been spilled around, and you can still hear the tinkling of glass as glass that had stuck to the wall with the wine is now slowly falling off as you're going through.
Was
So,
there
perhaps
anything
you should
back
let
here?
me take the lead, Graves. You look a little under the weather.
Certainly. Graves is also
Um,
probably gonna like sneak around at this point.
Oh.
He's like, I don't
Um,
want to get hit.
Let me see.
Sneaking.
Besides
Okay.
now, needle blights.
So yeah, so back there, I think I killed all the needle blights off.
Yeah.
So if you guys see any, there shouldn't be any more. So don't freak out if you're like, there's more. So I just forgot them. Let's see. So you roll me a perception check, Onyx.
19.
Okay, so with a 19, you would notice that as you are walking, the coldness that you had kind of felt in the cellar gets noticeably colder as you approach the north wall.
Okay. I will inspect the wall.
As you touch the wall, it is almost covered in frost. It's so cold.
Well,
You are able to
that's-
scrape away the frost off of the stone.
Okay. Guys? This wall
Yes?
is like freezing.
Before going back, I would just make a quick look behind the shelf and just make sure there really
keep
isn't
going.
anything down here.
Yeah,
And then I
for
would
sure.
go over.
Also roll me a perception check on Earth.
Okay.
Oh, who's over here?
Graves would stick
My-
of Conarth until he's done checking that out, just in case.
Yeah.
Perception is +3, so 15.
Okay, you would also notice the same thing on these walls as well over here.
Okay.
The other side of that's awful cold.
You do notice that as you go back here, there are 3 frosty barrels, all labeled Purple Grape Mash number 3, and it is emblazoned on the side. And then there is also another barrel of the same. Let's see. And let me see here. And then as you're walking by, you can see the bottles on this one are cases of bottles. Looks like there's about 30 or 40 bottles, the labels of which show that it is Red Dragon Crush. Okay.
I don't know what Onyx is planning on doing. I might roll for an investigation check and just kind of follow
Graves,
along the wall, see if I can
Graves would give me
figure
a
anything
hand
out.
with that too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'd be inspecting the wall and trying to figure out. Does it open? Is it just on the other side? There's just a river that makes this cold down here. Like what?
Do they have an ice elemental chained on the other side of the wall?
Yeah,
Right.
so, go ahead and roll me investigations checks if anyone that is going to assist can.
Do you want to guide me, Gary? And I have a +3 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, we'll do that. I only have a +1, so.
I'll probably guide myself and
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nat 20. I'll take the guidance anyway, if that die ever stops spinning. And +3. So 26 total.
Team this side of
And-
the basement.
Looked like there was an 18 down there, but it didn't show
I
up for
got
some
a-
reason.
it was
Okay.
it was
So-
a quick session. I got a
Yeah.
27 total.
Okay, so you guys would actually, so it's actually almost comical. You guys are both investigating, and you both end up at the same part of the wall at the same time, and both discover the same thing at the same time. So you guys both end up here.
Yeah, like I kind of picture it like I'm following the wall with my hands, just kind of doing this, and Herbert's on the other side doing the same thing, and
As you guys get
our
here,
hands
you
meet.
both kind of like push, and all of a sudden you feel the wall click.
Ooh. You love a good satisfying click.
Okay, so
Secret door.
Secret tunnel.
Yep.
Through the mountain.
okay, now before you
Through
guys
the
go
dungeon.
in, who has torches right now?
Let's.
I have one
Right.
enabled on my token because I don't use it as much as I used to, but Graves does have his lantern still.
I'm just using the light cantrip on my shield.
Okay, so you guys have lighting. Does anyone have like
I
an
was
open
gonna say-
torch?
So I have
Um,
the candle on my lantern would be burning.
Okay, but that would be kind of protected by the glass. So it takes some effort to push open the secret door, but you're greeted by a blast of cold air. A dark tunnel stretches for 15 feet, ending at an archway beyond which lies a shallow cave. Roll me perception checks, Herbert and Kunit.
I say you guys should still have Eyes of the Night on you. I think
Oh,
I
then I
cast
wouldn't
it just
bother.
before the fight, and the fight
What-
wouldn't have taken that long in real time. It's
Yeah.
Eyes of the Night lasts an hour,
Yeah, I just
300
used that
feet
then.
of dark
Okay.
vision.
Well, I got a 9.
What am I rolling for?
Perception.
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 Alright. Herbert,
15,
you don't see
17.
anything. Herbert, you do not see anything. Konerith, as you're looking in, you see that starting about halfway down this wall, the entire walls, floor, ceiling are all covered in a brown mold that is about an inch thick.
Hmm. Can I roll to recognize this?
Yes, you can, and even if you don't get it, I'm telling you, because this was something I'd never heard of as a dungeon master. I thought was the coolest stinking thing ever.
Okay.
So
During the-
it's whether or not your characters will know what it is, but I'm telling you anyway.
Is
Okay,
this
cool.
the
You would
mold that
know.
like attracts to
So-
light?
It is brown mold. It comes from the Dungeon Hazards of Chapter 5 Adventure Environments of the Dungeon Master's Guide. And this is rules as written in here. Brown mold feeds on warmth, drawing heat from anything around. The patch of brown mold typically covers a 10-foot square, and the temperature within 30 feet of it is always frigid. When a creature moves to within 5 feet of the mold for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, it must make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw, taking 4d10 cold damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Brown mold is immune to fire, and any source of fire brought within 5 feet of the patch causes it to instantly expand outwards in the direction of the fire, covering a 10-foot square area with the source of the fire at the center of that area. A patch of brown mold exposed to an effect that deals cold damage is instantly destroyed. So,
And Herbert knows this.
yeah, Herbert would look, and this is I will like out of character, out of game. I'd never heard of this before I was doing prep for this, and I like read that. And I'm like, that's the coolest thing ever. I'm like, that's super cool. So it's you would be able to very easily surmise like, oh, this keeps the cellar cool.
I think campaign 2 of Crit Role ran into this.
It's dangerous.
Yep.
Yep.
There's a bunch of it in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage too.
Yeah. So, but Herbert, you would kind of when he said there's brown mold around, you would kind of be like, oh, and you were in Waterdeep, so it makes sense that you would know
There's a
what it is. You might have
chamber-
heard adventures.
in the Yawning Portal, there's a chamber that I've heard about that keeps the ale ice cold. Brews there are quite fantastic. Yes, I mean, this would be kind of interesting to maybe utilize in some sort of experimental way. I wonder. I'll have to ask if they'll be okay with me taking a sample.
I'm presuming then that this is probably how they keep their wine chilled. So we
yes.
we should leave it alone.
It's probably intentional, yes.
All right, that is good.
Does it grow?
So
I'm
brown.
asking- I know you
can
said
get
it.
out of control if. Yeah,
I'm asking Herbert, like in character.
yeah.
Okay.
It can certainly get out of control if exposed to much heat, so that's probably best to keep this sealed up and don't go in there, because if you get too close, it could kill you.
Well, I was just curious because if you wanted a sample, just make it grow, and then take what you've grown, so that way they're not missing any.
True, but I do just wish to get their permission before meddling with their affairs. Like, if I were to make some sort of mistake and it would get out of containment, it could be an issue. It's just a, bit of respect for them. I'll come back at a later date. I do believe I can collect a sample from afar as well, too, so it wouldn't pose any danger.
Okay.
But would there be enough space for someone to get through without getting within 5 feet of it? To just check the room out?
So it starts
Or is it-
right about here.
Okay, so it's as soon as you go in, you're going to start taking...
Yeah, it's
damage.
it's safe as long as you keep your distance. It's not going to like jump at you and attack you. But
Yeah, but it said within 5 feet. If you start your turn or you enter that space, or is it when you end your turn there?
I believe it's when you enter the space or end your turn there, I think is the way it was.
So where the pathway is 10 feet wide, and it's on either side.
It is on the floor and walls.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as we don't go in there, we're good. But if
Yeah,
we go
so
in there,
if you go beyond these 2 blocks,
yeah,
you're in danger.
So basically, yeah. Okay, so I'll look for a way to seal this door back up. Where's the reset switch here?
Let me. Yeah, so I'm going to build. Do. It is not rotating for some reason. Does anyone remember how to rotate in Tailspire for building?
I have never built anything really.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh well. I'll get it in just a moment. But yes, is pretty easy to close. It was almost like one of those things that you kind of, when you're trying to check how to close the door, as you're pushing it clicks again, and it almost by default wanted to be closed.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, well, unless there's anything else, I suppose probably check the attic, or no. We could like see most of like the upper levels of the building when we were in it, right? Or we didn't check the tops of the towers maybe. Or a tower. There was a tower, right? Or was there multiple? 2 spiral staircases, so I'm not sure.
There we go. Alright, so it's closed. So as you go over to this one, you see that it is in fact not a spiral staircase. Instead, it looks like it is built as a ramp. Graves, you would have run into this from the other side. This is a ramp going elsewhere. It is worn smooth as if they roll the barrels up and down it as they're going along. There are footholds along the outer edge as if it's built so that as you're pushing a barrel up, you have a place to put your feet in as you're climbing around the edge.
Yeah. Graves would be able to be like, oh yeah, this just goes back up to where we were.
All right.
That being said, you have now explored everywhere. You guys are able to easily surmise, yes, we have cleared the entire building. So if you'd like to explore more, you can. But you can also check outside or move on if you would like.
Yeah. I say we just walk through the fields to see if there's anything, and then if there's nothing, go see the Martikovs is my suggestion.
Okay. I can move you guys outside really quick if that'll make it easier for you.
Yes.
I just teleported myself outside.
Okay, I'm moving you guys in the front.
I moved myself to the roof.
Whoa. Where'd you guys go? Did I move you guys correctly?
Yeah.
That's the
I see
front.
Graves and Conera.
I'm not here.
I moved myself, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
over road.
Got
road
it.
movement.
Onyx is the only one I'm not seeing.
I'm coming. I came to the back.
You're hopping there.
Oh, there we go.
If you shift click when you pick up your
Yeah.
token, you can teleport.
Where's the fun
Okay,
of that?
so you guys are outside.
Yeah, and I think we were gonna walk around the fields and just like actually see if we aggro anything.
Just go for a gander.
Like,
Okay, I'm not going to
let's-
force you guys to run your tokens everywhere. Are you guys looking for anything particular while you're walking, or just kind of walking around?
figuring out what these ghost shapes are.
Ghost shapes?
Ghost shapes.
We're here.
Oh, are there some modded tokens?
Oh, so these were needle blights.
Oh, those are the old modded.
There we go.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
They're
we're getting
actual
attacked by
ghosts.
ghosts now. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, they're actually ghosts.
This is
Yeah.
great.
I think Graves would walk around, like he'd be looking around see if he spots any needle blights, but mainly he'd be walking to see if we aggro any and kind of going into every general area so that any ones that are around might attack us. See if there's any signs of druids, but he's less so like searching for tracks, although he'd half do that. He's more so being like, is anything going to attack us?
Okay, yeah. So you're walking around, you're pretty easily able to see that there's not really any, um, you're not really seeing any enemies or anything like that. As you're walking along, does anyone have any history with agriculture as a character?
I believe I would.
I have
Okay.
dug graves. That's it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
That's Grace's entire
Herbert-
backstory.
Herbert was involved in a lot of city planning, so he would know like the general principles of agriculture and like stuff like that.
Okay.
And
So,
Earth maybe a little bit working with the monastery. But...
so as you are walking along, you see that the areas of the winery are kind of split into 3 sections. There are 2. Each of the sections has a different type of grape in them. You see this section over here, this section over here, and then a few smaller sections in the back here that are very limited on there. I don't know if you guys saw where I was pointing for all that. But basically, to the east and the west, there's 2 large vineyards, and then in the back to the south, there are 2 smaller vineyards of a 3rd type of grape. You would see as you're walking along, the one to the west is, it looks like the grapes on there are drying out, but they're still okay. Like, you're like, okay, this looks like it's a little bit past its prime. It's still edible. As you're going there, not quite at the point of raisins, but definitely dehydrated grapes, and it's as if the vines have been dying. As you're walking along on the eastern side of here, these are beyond what the other ones were. These have no grapes. The only grapes that you see are on the ground, almost past rotten. They are no new grapes are growing whatsoever. Whereas like the first one, there were some grapes that were infancy and then stopped. This one has no new grapes on the vine, and the leaves have mostly fallen off. As you get to the southern vineyards, these ones are pretty much just vine, like the bark-like vine that you see on wine, but you don't see any grapes, any leaves, not even any debris on the ground around it. It looks like this hasn't grown anything in many years. The vine is still there. It just is not doing anything, as if it doesn't have enough nutrients to grow further.
If I was a druid, I could help.
Oh, quick question. When you were doing the prayer of healing, you were doing the secondary prayer. Was that to... What were you doing with that one?
Well, I was sort of examining the remains of that magical item, and that was just me healing the party too, because I have the prayer of healing. So just me explaining what I'm seeing and stuff like that was basically what I was doing.
Got it. Okay. Oh, you weren't, because you had collected the staff. Were you you weren't examining that?
I know that's what I was examining.
Okay. Did you have, like, mechanically speaking, did you use your artificer ability to tell what it was, or cast identify?
I would have done an identify if it would have been possible.
Okay. Let me see. I just thought about it because we never actually dealt with that. Let me see. So, choose an object you must touch throughout the casting spell. Let's see. You learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use and how many charges it has. Learn whether any spell affects the items and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, and you learn which spell. Okay. And you used a ritual for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you would see that while this was a type of wood that was very light and appeared to be cast iron, it is a type of wood that seems to be spongy and brittle, meaning that it will not bend, but it will break and shatter. As it's going, it just takes a while to get to that point. You can see that was made by evil means. Um, the you would have known that this staff could have been wielded as a magic quarterstaff, that you could cast magic through it as a focus, but it also could have been used to steal life force from enemies that it was used to strike. Those that were affected by it could have been affected mentally. You do know that while you were holding the staff, and all of the effects are now no longer useful, you're able to kind of see the what it was. So while it was intact, anyone that was attuned to the staff, any blights or evil plant creatures didn't regard them as hostile unless you harmed them.
Okay.
Let's see. And then it could also just be used as a simple staff weapon.
Well, I suppose I could try to repair it with, like, mending. But, I mean, it's unusable regardless. Maybe it could be re-enchanted with different purposes. But I think I'll just hang on to the remains for now, at least as maybe a material that I might try to use later.
Okay.
Who is
So,
typing?
Sorry, that's me. I'll mute myself.
No worries.
You were just. It sounded like you were angrily typing.
I actually checked my Discord messages to be like, is someone messaging me like I haven't responded
sorry.
for a minute or two?
That was just me, and it was not angry typing. It was just
If you
typing.
turn on crisp, it will take out mechanical keyboard noises.
I was like, isn't crisp on? I turned crisp off at some point for some reason, and apparently I never turned it back on.
I had turned it off when I was playing D&D at one point, because if you yell too loud,
It cuts out. It doesn't.
it cuts you out. And
That
so
might have been why I took it off. There was some voice I was doing that it was cutting out.
yeah, and annoying. But while you guys,
There seems to be cutting out the keyboard now. Excellent.
oh yeah, I don't hear it at all.
Excellent.
No, I
All
love
right,
crisp.
do
It's
continue.
great. Yeah. So as you guys are kind of finishing up your survey, you do see the Martikovs making their way towards you. Adrian is leading the pack. He is going to see you off in the distance, and he's going to raise his hand in greeting. He's like, the Ravens told us that, or at least they have returned, and they left when the blights had come. Is it clear?
yes, thanks in part a lot to the Ravens, actually.
Yes.
But yes, your home is safe.
The group of the Martikovs, while small, are all give a raucous cheer as their home is now restored. They will start walking towards you. The children run further forward. You see Martin and Vigo kind of running forward excitedly as they're coming in, as they're going. You see Davian. He is kind of walking slowly, using his almost like pitchfork that he'd been using as a weapon, as almost like a walking stick, and he go by. You have my thanks, traveler.
Of course, we're happy to help and spread, goodwill and benefits wherever we can. This place is rather dreary, to say the least.
You're seeing it in a bad light. Adrian looks. He's like, truly, we cannot thank you enough. But now is not a time to be in sorrow. Come, let's drink. Let's be merry. And they are going to go into the Wizard of Wines. They're going to wave you in, and at this point, we're going to kind of go to Theater of the Mind as we enter into the Wizard of Wines. The different members of the party are quite excited. They have been separated from the group for quite a while, or from their home for quite a while.
Alcohol.
Yeah, but more so like their beds, their belongings, their clothing, where they bathe, and just what is comfortable. So they are quite happy. They start kind of gathering what food they have to start making food for everyone as they are going. So, there we go. Okay, so you guys are now seeing a family who has had their hopes and dreams restored in front of your very eyes. They are laughing, being merry. You guys start talking with some of them. Now, there are a few of them that probably would deviate towards you just because of similar likes and dislikes and things like that. Is there any questions you guys would have specifically as you're going along?
Great, so I'd ask polite questions about the how the winery works and stuff to make conversation.
How the what works?
How like different like winery things work, or like just the process just to make conversation. But
Okay.
mostly just to be polite and such, and just to talk rather than just sitting there staring.
So yeah, as you were talking, the person that would be most interested in your type of questions would be Elver. He's the youngest of Davian's sons, and he, as you're talking to him, he's very much a green thumb type thing, and he seems to be much more technically minded, to the point that he actually starts talking about trying to invent different machines and things like that to improve the production of the wines.
You should talk to Herbert.
With that being said, he would actually pull out a sketchbook that he has with diagrams and things like that within.
Oh, yes.
Herbert, you would probably be immediately drawn to this.
I'm immediately like, if there was any talk of like the workings of this place, he's fascinated because he's seen the inside of it, and he's like, well, if you just change this angle around here, and you do, and just he's excitedly like making like suggestions and like troubleshooting. He's like, why do you do it this way? And it's like, oh, of course, yes.
So
like, well, of course it's got to be like that.
The energy of troubleshooting that the rest of the party has seen Herbert give, where he's like kind of muttering, noting everything like that, is exactly matched by Elver. He is just as excited, and he is writing everything down. They're bouncing ideas off of each other. As he is talking, a slip of paper does fall out of his sketchbook on the ground. Herbert, as you reach down to pick it up, you see that this is a very different texture of paper from the rest of the sketchbook that he is holding. It's almost worn down. It's been folded over time, so it's almost more of a cloth than it is paper.
Oh, is this one of your reference documents, or?
Oh, I almost forgot that was in there. That was something I found as a kid in the winery.
Huh?
Yeah, so the winery's
Oh,
ages old. It's centuries old. So as I was upgrading the ramp at one point to make it a bit easier for everything to pull up, I found a chest of some of these diagrams. Most of them had worn away. I've copied this one down. If you'd like to keep it, you can.
I mean, of course, yes. It's
Okay, and he hands
incredibly
you.
complicated.
Yes, and you would be immediately drawn. So let me add in the handouts. Oh, if I go to the right one. Okay, and I'm just going to send it to the general handouts tab here in the Discord channel. So let me up. Do. Okay.
That's a hammer.
Ooh.
So you see a schematic with almost like codex level writings on it that you can't fully make out. But you know enough about it that you're like, this guy was making a weapon of some kind. This wasn't like a workshop hammer or anything like that. It almost looks like it has some type of explosive force on it. And you are beyond intrigued.
Pressurized air. Oh, fascinating. Oh, channels through this disc. Oh, God.
I could never really make heads or tails of it, but I copied it down just in case I ever found a key to be able to decipher it. But, alas, maybe it might be something useful to you. I don't think I ever really have ever had a need for an explosive hammer on my end.
I have developed something of a prototype to what this thing might be, though it's a totally different approach.
Well,
Um,
as as Davian always told me, great minds think alike, but fools seldom differ. So be careful.
yes, of course. Yes. I'm tucking this away and just deciphering. Well, probably not tucking it away, to be honest. Right? He's just like taking out his book and making separate notes from this and trying to just cipher it out. And
Yeah.
anything that's not
Um.
legible.
So, as you're kind of, you could very easily be lost in hours in conversation, with, with Alvar. Stefania is, kind of helping, kind of collecting the kids together, kind of help start cleaning up from the mess of everything that has gone on. Adrian and Davian are sitting around the table, kind of discussing quietly. Davian gets up and goes to his room to rest for a bit. And Adrian kind of looks across the table. Is there anyone that would just be kind of sitting there, kind of just like not really part of the festivities or anything particular?
When Aerith would be sitting off to the side drinking some water.
He would, Adrian would kind of look away back. You're quite quiet, friend.
Just not.
It's like,
I think, if I remember correctly, I don't think Conera said anything the time they met previously because they had expressed the way I communicate, and I feel like they said they would rather not.
yeah.
So
It's like,
he's just
oh,
keeping to himself.
yes, that's correct. I'm sorry that we are not quite comfortable enough to speak in the way that is comfortable. If you'd like, we have some chalkboards for the children, so you can write if you want to communicate with anyone.
Gwyneth kind of like gives like a respectful like, it's okay kind of
Certainly.
motion.
Well, please, in whichever way you can, let us know if there's anything we can get you. We are in your debt. He's going to kind of get up. As he is getting up, the Claudia, the or Claudu, he is one of the 4 children. He's the youngest. He's probably 14 or 15. Comes in holding the satchel of the one druid that had been found in the other room. He's going to hand it over to Adrian, and Adrian is going to open up the bag, and there's a number of vials in there. Some have liquid in it, but most of them are drained. As he's looking in it, he would look to the rest of the party. He'd be like, "Hold on one moment." Okay, so he would look at the rest of the party, kind of see if there's anyone that is free. I'm guessing he would probably see Onyx and Graves, as Herbert is quite distracted. He'd be like, he would kind of nod you over to get your attention, and he's going to be like, "This was found on one of the druids you had dispatched. Do you recognize this potion?" And he would hand it over one of the vials.
Do we recognize this potion?
So as you guys look at it, you do see that it is a red potion within. But roll me Arcana checks.
What is my Arcana?
Onyx knows nothing.
Graves knows nothing.
We both rolled nat ones.
Yeah!
Oh my God.
Okay, you guys look at this and you do not recognize this potion at
Yeah.
all.
Onyx
he's
is
like,
like, I don't drink. Why would I don't know this.
Yeah, you asked the
Smells of
two of us
nothing.
that don't drink. I suspect that Herbert would probably be the most likely to know.
This doesn't bode well. It looks like some of these are empty, and I don't know why.
But I mean, the most common potions I've run into are healing potions, but I'm not sure if this is one of
Perhaps.
those.
Perhaps. I'll set it aside for now until we can... maybe next time we do a delivery to Velaki, we can take it over to the...
Yes.
I will
So
actually.
Herbert might also know, but
I will. Give me a little bit of time. I'm going to see if I can figure out what it is, and I will spend 10
Of
minutes
course.
ritually casting detect magic.
Okay. So you're able to kind of do that. Let me see.
I probably won't figure out what it is, but at least if it's magical,
Like what kind
There
of
we
magic
go.
right?
it is. This a buff or is this a poison?
Okay.
Is this a
Okay,
potion
so
I should
as you're
drink or
going-
my enemies should drink?
You do not sense anything magical within this potion after your
blood.
10 minutes of ritually casting.
Interesting.
Sir, I do believe that it is safe to ingest, as I do not detect any magic.
I don't think not magic immediately means safe.
No. Okay. I'll leave that up to you. But either way, it's not going to make you sprout wings or anything.
But
This
it doesn't mean it
kerosene
won't
is
kill
great.
you. That doesn't mean it won't kill you.
Graves is like, no!
Gasoline is non-magical.
So, he's like, okay, well, we'll have to keep an eye on it,
Yes.
for now. So, with that being said, the rest of everyone, they do gather some food. They do ask, like, do you guys want any food? Obviously, that's a kind of a loaded question because some of you don't eat food.
You have to party. We don't eat. I
Yep.
can eat, but I don't need
You guys
to.
are such buzzkills. Jeez.
I mean, Herbert, like if they're preparing food, he would take part. You know.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, they prepare food. It's a lot of more non-perishable type foods, kind of like rehydrated,
Beef
um,
jerky.
like yeah, almost like beef that has been
Yeah.
like recooked, like salted ham, that type of thing. A few
Yep.
canned goods.
I'm telling
Um,
them some stories about
and
Waterdeep, and
of
I'll
course
tell
wine.
them. I'm telling them some stories about Waterdeep, and I'm like, there's street vendors that sell all sorts of different type of flavors of this meat, and I will like use prestidigitation to like give them samples of like flavors of dried meats from Waterdeep.
Okay, roll me a d6.
A, that is
Oh.
very cruel. And B,
Hey.
that is
You gain
ingenious.
4 luck points. I love that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Many of these people have lived in Barovia their entire lives. It's one of those things, they've heard stories from people all across um, the Sword Coast. They've heard adventurers talking about these things. You're the first person to tangibly bring something new to them. This is the equivalent of you being like, "Oh yeah, there's a new color," and just dropping a color in front of them. You have blown their minds. So yeah, take those luck points. Holy, that would
Just
be
for
They'll
them to
remember the
realize that they're like, oh my god, this color, it's amazing. Oh, it's faded. Where do we get more? We can't.
so.
Oh.
I'll.
But
You could potentially think up new spice mixes based on the inspiration, maybe.
yeah, and but the thing is they would be just kind. It would give them almost like a glimmer of hope and beauty in the world, because it's like one of those things that just because like they do have like basic spices and things like that, but oftentimes it can just be the way something is cooked that changes how you're even thinking about it. Like for example, fried foods might not be a thing in this area, and he might have just been like, oh, this is what fried dough tastes like, and that is something they could do. It just is lost to time in Barovia. So Stefania would definitely be interested. The 3 children, the Claudia, Martin, and Vigo, would be amazed as you're showing them this. I imagine you being like, oh well, this is an orange, and just kind of like almost presenting it to them that like they've only had like an apple, and even that's a rare treat, but grapes are usually the fruit that they are eating as they are going along. As you are going along and everyone is talking, all of a sudden you hear the front door slam as someone walks in. It closes behind them. You hear the shuffling of footsteps, and you see Dag and Cladu walk in. And Davian has walked out of his bedroom. He's waiting kind of at the edge of the dining room. They look crestfallen. As they look across at everyone, Dag looks at the room. Everyone kind of stops talking as they see, and Adrian looks up from his wine. And he's like, Dag, what happened? And Dag looks at everyone and he says, the 3rd gem, they took the last one. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
What? Nani? 3rd gem?
Yep.
What? Huh?
So, festivities all stop, and we will continue with the story of the 3 gems in our next session. Thanks so much for joining.
Goodbye.